August 27th, 2024. Yep, back at the dacha again. Wow, it's been 6 weeks since I've been here at the dacha. I was in Canada visiting my mom, my sisters, my friends, just relaxing. And now I'm back. It took us, 5 days to get back. Of course, we stopped in Moscow and we were in Seattle for a day. So, how'd everything go? Well, it was good. It was nice to go back home and visit with everybody, as I said, and family and so on. What was the trip back like? Well, the trip back was interesting because I had to fly from Castlegar, my hometown, to Vancouver, and then to Seattle, and then to Istanbul, then to Moscow, and then to Khabarovsk. Well, when I was going through the Seattle airport, I thought, well, this is going to be a breeze. As it turned out, no, they questioned me. Why am I going to Russia? I said, I work there. I teach English. And they asked me how long I was there, and they just kept asking me, which I thought was excessive questioning. I thought, okay, well, if the Americans are going to be questioning me, I wonder what Russia is going to be like. Well, as it turned out, Moscow immigration, as soon as I walked up, put my passport on the counter, the young officer woman looked at me and asked me where I was going. I said, Khabarovsk. She asked me what I'm doing in Khabarovsk. I said, oh, I teach there. And she's like, oh, what do you teach? I said, English. She said, okay, have a nice trip. That was it. So it's interesting. People were saying that, oh, these are the people that were in Canada. They were saying, oh, you're going to have a hard time going back to Russia. They're going to stop you at the border. They're going to interrogate you in a room. That didn't happen. Also, some of the YouTube bloggers here in Russia, I've been following them along. We have a group set up. And they were saying there was a British guy and an American guy, two separate instances. When they left Russia and when they were returning, they had problems where they were, if you want to use the word interrogated, they were questioned excessively from what I understand. So it's interesting that some people can have a difficult time, and others, such as myself, are very fortunate that there wasn't a problem. So, blessings, I don't know, whatever. I guess it does help that I was able to speak to them in Russian, and so, I don't know, maybe they liked it that here's a foreigner that's coming into their country that is speaking to them in Russian, and I understood everything what they were asking, and that was that. Let's see, what else do we got? I brought over to Russia a lot of items that either you can't find in Russia or they're really expensive. So, for example, coffee. I brought a lot of coffee. I think one of the 4 luggages, so my son and I both had 2 luggages each. I brought a lot of coffee because it was like $10 for 920 gram container. So it was relatively cheap. The same equivalent here in Russia would be probably, I don't know, $30. So yeah, what else did I bring? I also brought myself a lot of work gloves. Probably wondering, well, Russia doesn't have any work gloves? No, Russia does have work gloves. But the work gloves that I brought, they were used to kind of put padding around anything that was kind of fragile that I didn't want to break or whatever. So these gloves that I brought, the interesting story to them is I was actually, over a 20-year or 18-year period, I was bringing them from Korea to Canada. And they were really cheap for a pair of gloves. I was paying an equivalent of about 10 cents. So it would cost $1 for 10 pairs of gloves, $1 Canadian. So, and I probably accumulated 3,000 pairs. Really, no joke. at least 3,000 pairs, because I know that the same kind of gloves, even though they're cheap gloves, they only last a few hours, or if they get wet, they just start to unravel. But the same ones in Canada are usually about $3. So I thought, well, that's a really good deal. So I've got so many of them. And now, guess what? I'm bringing them to Russia. Well, I'm working at the dacha here, and I figured, well, I have enough pairs of glasses or gloves in Canada, so I might as well start bringing them here. I'm going to turn the camera on. I'm going to show you all these gloves. Here they are. Here, I've got 3 bags, so I took them out of my luggage. So this is what they look like. They're these, if you lived in Korea, you know these gloves. All the workers use these kind of gloves. So they're not bad, but like I say, they're usually right in the fingers, they'll start unraveling and there'll be a hole and you throw them away. They're usually single-day use. They're not the heavy-duty ones like the kind in Canada you use at sawmills. So how many pairs did I bring? Well, I counted 136 pairs of gloves. So there it is.